Happy Wednesday, Saints fans. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. It is hump day, so let's talk some news and rumors. We're talking about a potential trade for Chase Young because there's some interesting reports out there that hint that the Commanders might actually be interested in trading him. Yannick Ngakoue, we're going to talk about him again because we've only talked about him 500, 600, 700 times, so we're going to mention him again, talk about why I still believe that he could be a good fit for New Orleans. And then also, we're talking about Hard Knocks and why the Saints could potentially land the HBO training camp series. And then if you stick around for the very, very end of this video, I have a little fun thing I want to talk about at the very, very end of this, so just bear with us, hang out with us, and watch the whole video because I promise you don't want to miss out. It's pretty dang good. But guys, before we get to that, who is the greatest Saint in franchise history? Let me know, Saints fans, because I'm curious. Going to make the rule. Can't say Drew Brees, because that's the obvious answer. You just can't say Drew Brees. I'm not going to say Drew Brees, but I want you guys to let me know who is the greatest Saint in franchise history. All right, right into the nitty-gritty like Mariah Mills. We're talking about a Chase Young trade idea because Albert Breer actually talked about the Commanders are, quote, open to listening to trade offers for Chase Young. And so why the Commanders even have this as an option? Because they declined his fifth-year option. They committed a 4-year, $90 million extension to Daron Payne. And with Jonathan Allen, they inked a 4-year, $72 million contract back in 2021. So they have a lot of money invested on that defensive line. And Chase Young, however, is shockingly not on that list of players that they have already invested in. But here's why the Commanders have not invested in Chase Young, because the production is high, low, left, right, north, south, east, and west. Now, the numbers are skewed, and there is, the consideration of the ACL tear in 2021 that happened in November against the Buccaneers. But when you look at the 2020 numbers, when he plays a full season, in 2020, he was a Pro Bowler and the Defensive Rookie of the Year, putting up 44 tackles, 8 sacks, and four forced fumbles. Say that 3 times fast. In 2021, he put up 26 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and only played in 9 games. So obviously there is the lack of production there and the lack of playing there. However, in 2022, only 3 games played, 5 tackles, no sacks, no forced fumbles. But again, obviously didn't play in a lot of games. But guys, I think that this is an interesting idea, because I firmly believe that having Chase Young opposite of Cameron Jordan would be just insane. It would be wild. It would be such a incredible pressure that you could put on the opposing quarterback. And I kind of like to think of it as you saw one season of Nick Bosa and Chase Young at Ohio State. Imagine you have those 2 edge rushers that are coming off the sides that are going to get at the quarterback, going to bring that pressure, get the sacks, get the quarterback hits, provide that pressure to the backfield for the opposing offense. And I think that it would be an even better idea because you get a long-term guy across from Isaiah Foskey, who you drafted in the 2nd round, because we all know that Isaiah Foskey has a high motor. He's a player that's going to give you everything he's got every single snap. And I think having a guy like Chase Young across from him is just the perfect 1-2 punch on that defensive line. So I think that it should be an idea the Saints at least put the call in for. At least pick up the phones to Washington and be like, hey, what's it going to take to get him over here? But guys, I want you to let me know, what would you give up for Chase Young? If you know ball, I need you to prove it and comment down below, because I wouldn't want to give away, the entire future of the Saints. I wouldn't want to mortgage a ton of future draft capital, but I would be willing to invest not, like a day 2 pick. I would be willing to invest a couple day 3 picks. I wouldn't want to give away multiple firsts or anything. And if that's what the asking price is, I'm out. I just got to be honest. I'm out. But you need to let me know, what would you give up for Chase Young? Take advantage of the pinned comment and let me know down in the comment section. And also, while you're down there, if you want the Saints to add some defensive line depth, don't jinx it. Hit the dang sub button. It's big. It's red. It's impossible to miss. It's right here below me. Hit it. click it, because otherwise the Saints will not add to the defensive line, whether it's in a free agency or a trade. But guys, we're also on the road to 15K, so if you want Saints news, rumors, updates, fun and interactive content, we are 147 away. I want to get there before preseason starts, so I need you guys to help me out. We're almost there, but we still got some work to do, so hit that sub button, turn on your noties, and lock us in. All right, let's talk about Yannick Ngakoue, because he recently said he wants to play for a Super Bowl contending team. And I truly do believe the Saints have the makeup and they have the pieces to potentially be a team that could make a run at the Super Bowl. And as for what Yannick Ngakoue said, here's the whole entire quote. He said, "I definitely want to play for a contender, play for a team and an organization that wants to win a Super Bowl. That's one thing, or that's one of the things on my agenda, to be able to help contribute to that. Hopefully, I can get some great interest from a contender." And all I have to say is this. Hey, Yannick Ngakoue, don't sleep on the Saints. Do not sleep on what is going down in New Orleans. Do not overlook the terrible division that they are in and a very weak conference. Now, naturally, you have in the NFC your top two teams, the 49ers and the Eagles. Those are the clear-cut two top teams in the NFC. And after that, there's a little bit of a gap in terms of the Cowboys, maybe the Giants, the Seahawks, maybe the Vikings. There's a handful of teams you could throw into that mix. But I truly do believe down to my core, and not just as a Saints fan, but as a person who explores and watches a lot of NFL and talks a lot of NFL, I truly do believe the team to watch out for is the New Orleans Saints, because they have a ton of pieces. And why Yannick Ngakoue could be a great fit, look at the numbers, guys. Look at these numbers. In the last 2 years, almost 20 sacks. In the last 2 years, that's 39 QB hits. I hope that math is right. I went to Arkansas. Don't yell at me. In the last 2 years, 16 tackles for a loss and 3 forced fumbles. And that is incredible production, because he is a pass rushing specialist, and the Saints struggled to do that last season. And over his entire career out of 110 games, 65 sacks. That's almost every other game he's getting a sack. Like, just do that math for me. Almost every other game, he's putting up a sack. But he's putting up a QB hit, at least one, and then some change per game. He's getting a ton of tackles for a loss. He's getting to the backfield. He is going to cause a lot of problems for the opposite offense, or the opposing offense, and he's going to be a piece that adds a lot of extra zest and a little extra pepper to that defensive line. And he's a veteran guy who wants to go win a Super Bowl. So if you bring him in, he can be a very big addition, especially down the stretch and in the postseason. But guys, I need you to spam it for me in the comments section. Type YN to get Yannick Ngakoue down to the boot. I know I want Yannick Ngakoue to be rocking the black and gold. And I have to say this. Honestly, I'd rather have Yannick Ngakoue over Frank Clark. Just a lot of things considered. I can go into it if you guys really want me to compare and contrast the two, defensive linemen. But if I had to go get a defensive lineman in free agency, I really want Yannick Ngakoue. So spam YN for me in the comments section. And also, new sale alert. We got a whole brand new deal for you. We show you guys the jerseys every once in a while, but today I was up on Fanatics trying to go pick up some new gear for myself, and I saw this deal, and I had to share it with the Who Dat Nation. It's a 2-pack t-shirt combo for 40% off. You can only get it if you use chatsports.com/Saints combo. That link will be available for you in the comment section and the description of this video. Go get these 2 t-shirts. It's not one or the other. You get both of them for 40% off. It's a deal you can't beat. So go get swagged out, go get geared up for a perfect night out at Bourbon Street or on Canal, or hell, even at the Superdome. Go get geared up with our link down below, though. All right, let's talk Hard Knocks, because the decision will be made sooner rather than later. It's going to come out sooner rather than later. But as for right now, these are the 4 teams that are eligible to get Hard Knocks this season. The New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets, the Chicago Bears, and the Washington Commanders. And all 4 teams have a little bit of a good argument to make. I think the Commanders, you can pretty much X them out. There's not a ton of excitement going on around there. The Bears, You have a lot of excitement around that franchise. They made a lot of moves. They did a lot of activity during the offseason. Justin Fields is a player that a lot of people are watching for to see if he can be, or he can take those next steps to be a quality NFL quarterback. The New York Jets I'm going to get into in a little bit, but as for the New Orleans Saints, here's why I don't think I want this Hard Knocks to head to New Orleans. But before that, Dennis Allen also does not want Hard Knocks in New Orleans during training camp. And as for why, he said, I wouldn't like it because I just want to focus on our football team and getting better. And any distractions are exactly that. Distractions that keep you ultimately from reaching your goal. And so as for why New Orleans could potentially get Hard Knocks, why I believe that there's an argument there, you have some of the most entertaining players in the NFL. I mean, when you have Jamal Williams, Jameis Winston, and Cameron Jordan, those are three of the most entertaining players across the NFL. Tell me I'm wrong, because I know I'm not. I know I'm correct on this. They are such fun figures. Everyone knows them. Everyone loves them. And it doesn't matter if you're a fan of the team or not. I know you're at least entertained by these guys. There's also the Derek Carr revenge tour, because Raiders gave up on him. He had intentions of staying with the Raiders his entire career. They gave up on him. He says, no, I want to go and make a difference in the city of New Orleans. I want to go and turn this franchise around, and I want to turn my career around. So I think that that's another storyline that Hard Knocks and HBO could potentially like. Dennis Allen and Pete Carmichael. You know, there's some buzz that one, maybe both of them are potentially on the hot seat coming into this year. So there's a lot of pressure for them to perform well. So there's going to be some drama and some buzz around just the coaching as a whole. And there were some coaching changes that were made, bringing in Joe Woods as the defensive coordinator, for example, just even more coaching stuff to talk about. And then you got a really intriguing rookie class when you have Brian Brzee, who a lot of people overlook because he missed a lot of time. There is the phenomenal story of his Ella Strong movement that he's doing. There is a lot of excitement around a guy like Isaiah Foskey, Kendre Miller. There's a ton of excitement around a guy, especially like Jake Haener and A.T. Perry. And not to take away from like Nick Saldivari or anything, but there's a lot of intrigue going on in this rookie class. And as for what my take is, I think it would be fun to have the content. Like, don't get me wrong, it would be cool to see all the clips of Jamal Williams. Like, I think we can all look back on last year's Hard Knocks with the Lions and be like, that was fun. It was entertaining. Like, watching Jamal Williams talk about being a dog makes me want to run through a brick wall. But at the end of the day, I'd rather just stick to football. This team struggled last year. This coaching staff clearly can't handle a ton of distractions very well. They got to be honed in and focused. And at the end of the day, failure is not an option. You have zero reason to fail. You have a serviceable quarterback that is a leader, that is a veteran, that knows how to win. You have a ton of weapons around him. You have a top 10 defense, honestly, arguably a top 5 defense. And at the end of the day, don't add unnecessary distractions. And as for my pick, it's going to the New York Jets. I mean, you guys could have seen this coming. I think that the Jets are going to get him. They're a better team now. They have a lot of excitement around that team. You got Aaron Rodgers. You have a decent coaching staff. Sauce Gardner. I mean, come on. It's pretty obvious. That whole Aaron Rodgers storyline alone is enough to get them to New York to go to explore the Jets during training camp. Excuse me. And I'm gonna have this fun little thing after this question. So just stick around for like 30 more seconds. Where will Hard Knocks go? Type S for Saints, type B for Bears, type J for Jets, and type C for the Washington Commanders. I know I'm going to be typing my J for Jets down below. But also, here's the fun part of the show. Again, it's fun. It's entertaining. We try to have a good time while we do it. But if you guys haven't been on Twitter, I suggest you get on Twitter right now, because there's this Zion Williamson, Mariah Mills, just beef going on. Long story short, there's some baby mama drama happening. So I need you to pick a side for me. Type ZW if you're Team Zion. Type MM if you're Team Mariah Mills. Type WTF if you're just like, hey, at least it's not an injury story. Like Zion Williamson's in the news for something outside of an injury. Hey, can't complain too much. Again, it's all good fun. It's just having a good time on a YouTube video. So, guys, let us know. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's content. Thank you for making us a part of your day. Y'all stay golden. We'll catch you next time.